onye na-enye adịghị nyonwu ike dịrị Chukwu abịa mma agbara ndụwo ike dị n'osebụrụ ụwa welu nwayọ welu nwayọ welu nwayọ nwayọ come on oh things that pass away but much surely come to pass welu nwayọ welu nwayọ ị na-anụ m welu nwayọ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ no his freedom Biafra Solomon with the wisdom Eka Kanka Buhari intimidation Biafra television and the radio station we live in a mysterious world my brother you can't be told we got, we dedicate this song so that the rising them the can for freedom, freedom. Freedom the can child. Freedom the rising them the can yeah. Freedom the rising them the can na nebe wa nebe ubuda maka listen onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye na-enye ndụ adịghị nyonwu ike dịrị Chukwu abịa mma abụọ n'ọra mbụ ike dị n'osebụrụ ụwa welu nwayọ welu nwayọ nwayọ welu nwayọ welu nwayọ come on oh God pass away but much surely come to pass on judgment day welu nwayọ welu nwayọ welu nwayọ ị na-anụ m welu nwayọ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye ya na-emelụ n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ịkụlụ ka ị ga-alụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ onye kwụkwado onye chi ya na-emelụ n'ụwa Catholic, looking Garo, with them on the cano, he's a freedom. Biafra Solomon with the wisdom. Intimidation, Kumelo Biafra television, la radio station. We live in a my brother, you can't be told. If I Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ikulu ga-alọlụ. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu n'ụwa maka mkpụrụ ikulu ga-alọlụ. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu n'ụwa with them on the cano, he's a Biafra Solomon with the wisdom. Intimidation, Kumelo Biafra television and la radio station. We live in a mystery. My brother, you can't be told. If I'm a man, when I'm poor, I'm a poor, if I'm a poor, if I never, when you put what if I pour you for, if you Lord Pelado, if I never, when you put what if I pour you for, if you Lord Pelado, you put the chia de melo, you put the chia de melo, you put the chia de melo, no one can believe you put the chia de melo, you put the chia de melo, you put the chia de melo, no Catholic, looking Garo. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. Onye bukwa onye chi ya debelu. I'm Catholic, looking Garo. Solomon, yeah. For me, breakfast, on the beat.
Hello, fellow Biafrans. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I continue to face the challenges with the network, and it's just unfortunate I have to go through all this network stress. But you guys have to bear with me. You have to bear with me. The network continue to fluctuate, and that is the reason I haven't been much consistent online for some time, because of this same network issues and challenge that I have been facing. But today we just have to talk about a very, very important issue that has to do with our seat at home. I've received series of calls. People, a lot of Biafrans have shown the willingness to abide by the sit at home order. France have actually, shown that they were ready for the sit at home. The Directorate of State have, made consultations and said they are going to, stop the sit at home every Monday at the moment. And let's not forget that they said that the sit at home will come under review. From the beginning of the decision, they said the sit at home will come under review, and now the review has been made and the decision has been taken that we can only sit at home only the days that our leader will go to court. And then we are in the studio is Mazi Solomon Peter. Mazi Solomon, good morning and welcome to the program. Hello, Mazi Solomon, good morning and welcome to the program. You are having audio issues. You are having audio issues. Your audio, you are not coming out. You are not coming out. Yeah, you have to look into your audio issues, and I will try to see if I can bring you back later. Let me try another source because you have it here. Let me try the second one. Are you there, Mazi Solomon?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you. I think your audio is connected because you have two different sources of connection. I think the one is your cell phone and the other one is with your computer.
Yes, actually, I'm looking for every alternative possibility in order to join these very programs for the moment. So, thank you. Finally, I am here, and we are going to do everything brief because people like us, we have too many things in our hand, and we are not relenting over the challenges that come across us in the recent days of the kidnap of our honorable leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his position.
His Excellency.
Okay. Now, and his position with his position in DSS right now, which is not a pleasant situation, unexpected. If we are thinking of anybody who could be under the detention of DSS at this very moment, is our leader should be the last person that we will think that will get there anytime soon. But it happened to us suddenly, and we are also seeing the leadership of IPOP standing up to responsibility and at the same time taking advantage of whatever things that is being left of us. So they are taking advantage, and we appreciate them, because in a time like this, what we needed most than any other things is leadership. We must be coordinated. We must be under a leadership that will be giving directive, will be deliberating in issues, a leadership that can be doing comparison, a leadership that can be able to weigh options, a leadership that can be able to communicate and translate, a leadership that can be able to engage both diplomatically and otherwise. That is what we need in a moment like this, and that is the thing that we find in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we followed him. and he was able to raise up a very strong structure like the one of DOS, the structure as the one we have in IPOB. This is for the interest of Biafra, and these are the interest for the interest of the suffering masses. And he even wanted to use the structure to go beyond the Biafran struggle in using the structure in engaging every other member of Nigerian government, every member of Nigerian's union, to be able to engage them also into getting their own freedom, even while Biafrans are also grabbing their own freedom. So he even goes as far as even beyond Nigeria into using the same structure in engaging a good governance and a better strategy for African nation to emerge from the West Africa and down to the entire African nations. So we are proud of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If it is a heritage, then if it's something, if it's an inheritance, he has left something for us to inherit. Even if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not work for us in the next 10, 20, 50 years, we have already have a structure on the ground which we can rely on. And we must know that every one of us are part of this very structure. So we must put our hands together, support this very structure, fortify it, make it very strong, and be see reason to move ahead. So thank you so much, Mazi Pat, for making me part of this very program. I greet from all over the world. My name is Peter Solomon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi Solomon, very much. We've seen reactions from all over the place. Even myself, personally, I'm not happy that the sit at home was suspended. How do we communicate with our people to give them the sense of, understanding that it's not every decision that you would like at the end of the day, and how do our people have to be there with people who have already made up their mind that they were going to, and suddenly this announcement came? How do we, connect with their feelings?
Thank you so much, Mazi Pat. It's not matter of like or hate. It's matter of strategy. It's matter of strategy. It might be the strategy you like, it might be the strategy you dislike. But when you come to the issue of the reactions of Biafrans for the call-off of sit at home, up in coming on 16th of this month, which is the coming Monday, their reactions of proving we don't like it, we want to go on, I want to explain something to you about that, because DOS are connected to the people's emotions. They are connected to people's reactions. They know quite well that whatever decisions that are being taken, whether to call them to sit at home or to call off the sit at home, there will be different reactions from Biafrans. But what matters most is the strategy, the target. That is what matters most here. And I will explain to you something about the reactions of people who are feeling like they should have, the sit at home should have not been called off. The reason for reaction is because it has been compiled in people's mind about the injustice of Nigeria over Biafran people and over some individuals that lives around that very country. The level of the injustice is very high, that people in their mind, they have already made up their mind on the most hard way they can go on Nigeria. They have seen Nigeria as the oppressor. They have seen Nigeria as the one that is actually causing their suffering. So they are looking at the any means hard way they can go to Nigeria. Even to them, to most of them who are actually reacting now, if you even ask some of them to bear arms against Nigerian nation, they are ready at this very time. This is not because the IPOP give order for sit at home or because they call off the order, but these are the reflection of the anger that people have for Nigerian nation, that they wanted to go hard on them, even beyond anything that could be hard, as more severe than sitting at home. People are ready to do that. That is just the reaction that you are seeing. But coming to the aspect of DOS calling off the sit at home on 16th of this very month, which is the upcoming Monday, it is very, very strategic. And remember, people should be able to know how to follow information properly. Don't follow information halfway. When DOS gives order for sit at home, they make it specifically that this order is on the table for review, that this order can be reviewed at any time. Does it mean that people who had sit at home did not hear DOS say that this order can be reviewed at any time? If there is things to add, or if there is anything also at the same time to remove from the sit at home. So we must know that the most important thing that we need at this very moment is leadership. Leadership. We must have a leadership that are strategic in all their decisions. We achieved sit at home order when DOS gave it. Now it has come under review and they suspend it. Not that they suspended it totally, but they strategized with the sit at home. The sit at home will not be every Monday, but any day that the Nigerian government will decide to bring our leader to court, then we must sit at home at that very day in solidarity with what is happening, to boost our media outfit, We must know that leadership is the most thing that we needed, the things we need most in this very agitation. Any individual can be doing whatever he can to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafran get their freedom, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu get their freedom. But there is also a collective effort that can never be compromised. This is not about what an individual wants. It's about what is collectively agreed, deliberated on. And we must know that leadership work with intelligence. Leadership work with intelligence. Any leadership that does not have intelligent gathering can never, and will never lead right. There must be an intelligent gathering. There must be a kind of knowledge that people have in order to be in the position of leadership. And those decisions goes through the process of those information that's available to leadership, and then we come up with the best decision that we defend and we safeguard the interests of the people. So the sit-at-home order that was suspended was not like being called off. It is being changed. It is being changed in another level of strategy. That the sit-at-home order will be anytime they decide to bring our leader into for their court. And I want to make something clear again. Remember, when DOS acted in this sit-at-home, people must know what is happening at that very moment. That was the time they denied. That is the time they failed to bring our leader. They failed to bring our leader to the court. And that was the time also they denied the lead counsel in seeing our leader. So now we need to put a measure, because they don't need to take us for granted. We put a measure. And as we can tell you now, the DOS are in total cooperation with the lead counsel, and they are in total cooperation with Biafrans, and they are in total cooperation with every other sympathizers. And
Mazi, can I ask you a question? When the DOS sat down to make the decision to make every Monday a sit at home, don't you think that they actually took their time to choose that date and choose that strategy?
Yes, Mazi, in the state or in this type of circumstances that we are in this agitation, what matters a lot is target. Hitting your target at any time. We are not into ceremony where you have to make everybody happy, where you have to go in the way of everybody. We are in this struggle at this moment. What matters is the target we are about to hit. And ndị Igbo na-asị na egbe mụta ebeghị ebe dị ndị nta mụta ebe atụghatụ wee gbaa. We must know that target is the most important. We are focused on targets, not actually what people could feel like as an activity. It is what people will feel like a target, that at the end of the day, we got our target. That is the most important.
Okay, Maz, I want to ask you another question.
No, I haven't spoken about the question you asked me. Coming to the question you asked me, was it properly deliberated? Yes. And that is why that day hold, because it was properly deliberated and stamped. And there were so many oppositions to that. But the DOS stood their ground. And that day happened. So now, over the statement they put across, there is clause in that decision. Even while they deliberated on that decision and they come out with that decision, there is still a clause that people has to understand. There is a clause, and that clause said this decision can be reviewed. This decision can be reviewed. So that is the clause that people has to understand. We deliberated and we make this decision, but still can be reviewed. It cannot be taken away. So people must consider that very clause that is with that very decision. And the decision of DOS is for the interest of the people, and nothing less. Is for the interest of the people. Except if some of us does not believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even in detention, is still the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And if we are sitting at home for his interest, and if we are sitting at home for the interest of Biafra, that simply means that the suspension of the seat at home is for the interest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and for the interest of Biafra. So that is just what we need to understand from the question you asked me. Thank you, Mazi.
Okay, Mazi, because I'm going to ask you a series of questions, very interesting questions, because for me, sitting down here, I represent those who want the sit at home to continue every Monday. But notwithstanding, I would not challenge the position of the Directorate of State. But when you ask me, I stand in front. I stand with those who would have loved sit at home to continue every Monday, because we are ready to do anything to free our leader, even if it means going into hellfire and coming back. Now, the decision to suspend the sit at home, from what we had, came from the lawyer and communicated to the DOX through the lawyer from our leader. Do you think that, third-party communication would not be contaminated in the process, Mazi Solomon? For example,
okay.
let me just give, for example, just allow me, for example, we all know that when Mazi was around with the Directorate of State, it was easy for them to sit down on a round table, deliberate issues, and come up with a decision. Now he is far away from the Directorate of State. He has to send a message across to third party. Do you think it is possible for such information or such order to be contaminated in the process?
Listen, Mazi Pat, to make your question very short and clear. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today despite him being detained under the under the DSS. Now, if he has a wish from there, and he sent that wish through his lead counsel, then we should honor his wish. That is very, very important to us. The reason is because we have never at any time, as this moment me and you are talking, we have the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have never, and they can never be taken out from him. He's still our leader at this very moment. And if he wishes, like as he's sending messages across, that we have to pray for him, then if you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you pray for him. That is his wish. His wish is that all that he wanted is prayer from us. His wish is that we stay together as a family. We must honor that wish. That is the answer to your question. And then, for the things that concerned, for the wish of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, on the things that concerned Biafra, under DOS, it must be deliberated. Because this is not about him now, but about Biafrans and about people. So everything about the people should be deliberated. But anything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in his position wishes we do for him at this moment, we do it. We will honor his wish on anything about him, on anything that concerns to him. But to DOS offering us leadership at this very moment, the things that concern Biafrans will come under the deliberations under the leadership of DOS, because they are the people standing in the gap for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, being that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot move around, being that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot host launching for ESN at this very moment. People must be physical, doing those jobs that requires to be physical. Being that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot go in front of all these embassies to protest. We that are outside should do that one. So in a situation like that, it is in the place of DOS to deliberate and bring out the plan in which we are going to do it, and we follow. But if we said we are sitting at home for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released, and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under DSS communicated and said we should leave sitting at home for him, why should anybody enforce it? Enforcing it simply means that you have overthrown him in his position. He's still our leader. Despite that you will like to lock down the Biafran land, but the leader has spoken. So, but I'm not comparing now. I'm not saying, because when you are bringing up this matter, I told you that as I listened to DOS, they did not say that this is an order from our leader. But I am following them right from the one that the seat at home should be reviewed. And if they reviewed the seat at home, why should anybody have problem with it? We need leadership, and we should give them the opportunity. And how do we give them the opportunity? Giving them opportunities, supporting them, supporting their platform. And this brings me to make a slight comment, because I was following my brother Simon Epa in his program, where he's talking about no election in Nigeria, and people are bringing this issue up. I have the comment that people are making, and those comments are baseless, and those comments are like comments coming from ignorant people. There is people from even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was physical doing this job, there is people that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even give order, they always come to argue. They always come to argue even with the order that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, while he was physical, the order he gave. And what is their job is that they make sure that all Biafrans are divided, that we are divided, that we lose focus. There is people who their business are, and I'm seeing a lot of them in the Simon Eber's platform. They always want to come and dish out the things that divide the people instead of the things that unite the people. Even though somebody will take time to explain to them, still, so the thing that I wanted to comment is that I had one person who come to say to Simon Ekpa, if DOS are not including you on the decision, you should face your popularity with Biafrans. And I laugh. But my joy is that I have watched Simon from the one, and I see that Simon is not somebody you can buy with cheap words. He's not somebody you can buy cheaply. No. Rather, any attempt you make, you fool yourself. You show who you are from the origin. So now, people should not wait. Simon is not the member of DOS. Is that not public? He's not the member of DOS. So you should wait until Simon becomes the member of DOS before you are talking about including him in decision making. Simon knows his job. Simon Ekpa knows his job very well. That in his position right now is to come out and explain to you, because the problem, the why he's coming to explain to you is because the question you don't ask, Simon Ekpa asks it. The communication you don't seek for, Simon Ekpa seek for that communication. Like now, you will be there sleeping. Simon Ekpa will sweep into action. He will like to get information. He will like to ask questions, and he will get every information right. And the same Simon Ekpa will come and begin to explain to you what happened and why it happened. He knows his position. Simon Ekpa understands what it is his job. His job is to come to defend leadership, to stand by leadership. It's not by to come. He's not coming to stand by your comment or to stand by your most of your praises that you are giving to him. He knows his job. That his job here is to stand with a leadership, explain what every step means to a layman. And that does not mean that Simon will not become the member of DOS tomorrow. But we must wait until he becomes the member of DOS. Until then. But people will be jumping from here to here, here to here. They don't even know the meaning of leadership at the moment of this is what happened to the children of Israel. Moses was leading them. When they faced one crisis like this, everybody, even to a point, they will even begin to discuss Moses. Does it mean that he's the only one that God is speaking to? Does it mean God can speak to us also? Anytime you fight leadership, which you're supposed to stop, you will be stagnant. And you might equally find a way to destroy yourself. The only way we can move forward now is to support DOS decision. Support DOS. Go through their platform. Ask questions. If you don't. And what are their platform? Their platform are explained. Your local coordinator, your zonal coordinator, your state coordinator, your continental coordinator. These are the platform of DOS. It's not one-man business. It's not one man sitting to make decision. It is a collective effort by the representative capacities. Your coordinator represents you. If there will be anything that you need to be asked, it goes through your coordinators. Your continental leaders, they represent you in that decision. So your zonal leader represents you in that decision. And all the DOS members, they represented us in the structure of IPOB. So what you need to do as a member that is not holding a post is to support that position. Support it. Because it's
Yeah,
for their
Mazi, there is a question I want to ask you.
I want to say this. Finally, every intelligent information under the positions of the leader of IPOP should not at any time, once that should be made public, and the one that is not making public, they are working with it. And
Mazi, I want to, yeah, Mazi, let me ask you, because I want to ask you very, very some annoying questions, and I hope you'll be able to entertain them. We've seen the caliber of men in the DOS, and we know what they are capable of doing. Mazi, do you think, in your own view, that in some ways that DOS have some level of restriction in carrying out their duty? Do you see a situation where DOS is facing some level of restrictions in this struggle?
Okay. Now, I want to answer somebody here. Mazi, please permit me, because it's very, very important. You know, wrong information. I have mentioned the name of our brother Simon Epa here, and somebody is trying, because their duty is to twist every word that comes out of person's mouth. Simon has no issue with DOS. I am talking about what happened to his program. That some people who wanted us to divide, who always want to put negativity into the struggle, they are calling into the program, and they are shouting and sending their messages that why they didn't include Simon Epa in the decision making. And I'm clearing to you here that Simon Epa, Mazi, take record, because some of them we are going to cut this very part. Simon Epa is not the member of DOS. And that does not mean that he will not become the member of DOS anytime soon. But until then, you should wait for him to become the member of DOS before passing that comment. Because even somebody come live and say to him, if DOS are not including you in their decision, you should face your popularity with Biafra. And the Simon Epa cut that very message very clear. But in his expression, he knows that that person does not have the interest of Biafra in heart. That is just speaking based on his own understanding. So Simon is doing his job very well, and he's a man that understood his job. Cut this very part. If you don't understand what I said before, listen to this very part very well. He's a man who knows his job very well. But the fact remains that the comment that was made, which he said that he is not aware of the suspension of until he go through it, which we must give him time to do that. But at the same time also, we know that Simon has been dedicated and making so many sacrifices, going into so many media, listening to so many broadcasts. So if anybody also is a Biafran, the issue of DOS coming online to make an announcement was advertised before the time they make that advertisement. Can anyone also come online and say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu make a broadcast, I didn't follow him? Somebody in the position of Simon Epa could not make that. Can somebody say, okay, it's advertised that DOS are coming online, and I'll come privately and I said, I didn't follow, I don't know what they say? Then what makes you, what proves you to be, to be in a position of giving a first-hand information? So that is very, very important. Anytime we hear that DOS are coming online, we must come. And if you didn't follow them live, you must go and review what announcement did they make. That is for the interest, if you believe in that leadership, because that is what we want. So it's very, very important.
Solomon, having said that, we know that in the Directorate of State, we have very smart and intelligent people. These are people that I've had interactions with. These are people that, I've seen how intelligent they are. And I believe that the directors of state, this particular congregation of the directors of state is the best, if is the best from the we've ever had from the inception of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Do you think the directors of state have any form of restriction from carrying out their duty?
Okay, thank you so much for that very question. One thing you need to consider about the present DOS now, that they are not the people who joined this struggle yesterday, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They have been people who has been with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu from the one. So many of them has been in this very struggle, starting from the time this Mazin Nnamdi Kanu come in the scene. So many of them has been in this very struggle. So many of them has been with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu with over what struggle, the death, the killing, all the suffering that we have been through in this very struggle. So many of them that has been with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. They are not just people that just join the struggle. They knows what is the target. They knows what is they knows what we comes to achieve. So we must know that these are men and they are not boys. And they have been in the heart of this very struggle for a very long time. That is point one. Then the second point, based on the questions you asked. Now, DOS has no restriction in carrying out their duty. They have no restriction. But they are a body. They are not individual. They are a body. Every decision of DOS cannot just jump billy bam. No, it must go through the process of deliberation. We must put everything, they did go through deliberation where everything we are put under consideration before they will come out to announce, or before they will come up with a decision. So they have no restriction. And that could not make them, that could not also make them in their position to argue with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu or refuse order from Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. But with the order of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, even when Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is there, when Mazin Nnamdi Kanu give order, they still deliberate. They still deliberate with his order. So we must know that DOS has no restriction in carrying out their duty. But Mazin Nnamdi Kanu remain our leader. He doesn't matter where he's being held. He is our leader. He is our leader. And we must understand that what we are fighting for is the illegality in his detention. Apart from that, struggle for independent nation, prison, cell are also part of it.
Now, Mazi, let me ask you another question, if you can permit me.
Go on.
Is it possible for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to just allow DOS to, make all the decisions and see, use it as a kind of possibility to also see how, without any form of interference or whatsoever, allowing DOS to make the decisions at this point in time? Is it possible? It's just a question.
Maz, listen. You can never take away the veto power from the leader. What makes a leader is the veto power he has. DOS can make deliberation and come up with decision. When the leader vetoed it, they will go back. They will go back and revalue their decision. That is why we talk of the union of UN today. We have nations who have the veto power. Every leader mount to a veto power. And that veto power is still with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. He's still with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. That does not mean that his veto power is stopping DOS from carrying their job and discharging their duty.
Beautiful. Mazi Solomon, you've already answered that question. Going forward, how do you think Biafrans will continue to trust the Directorate of State? Having seen a lot of Biafrans say, no, we have already made up our mind to sit at home. We have already, I've also had interaction with people who say that our people are suffering, they should, relieve this sit at home. And I believe that those are the things that the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must have looked into and come up with the decision not to do it every Monday, considering the plight of the people. Now, for the Biafrans who have said, we have already made up our mind, we want to stay at home. In fact, they feel disappointed with the change of event. What is your advice to them?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the decision or the order of DOS does not stop me from what I am doing individually. I've come here, I've lectured people. You see, you saw Odumeje and the lead counsel, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, they are walking on the street. Odumeje was spreading money. These are just the same thing that I'm teaching Biafrans here and say, individually, if you want to speak from the place of authority, raise an altar. What Odumeje did by taking that walk and spreading money is the way he raised his own altar. You discover after spreading the money, got the people happiness and the people heart. He now use it to raise an altar and they pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and pray for Barrister Ejiofor. It does anything you wanted to do as an individual in regard to legal detention of our leader, you are allowed to do it. But if we have to embark on any journey collectively, there must be a leadership. That is just what you need to know. If you have made up your mind to sit at home on that very day, you are free. You are a free man to do so. You are a free man to do so. If you know that doing so is going to achieve, you know what is going to achieve for yourself, and in the position of the legal detention of our leader, then continue, do what you wanted to do individually. But in terms of doing things collectively, my dear, we cannot do things collectively without submitting to a leadership.
So now, Mazi, you've answered that question. So you mean that people can even decide to sit at home on their own, a kind of continuous show of solidarity with our leader based on individual decision. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. If there is something you felt like you doing it individually can achieve, then go ahead. But the reaction that Biafrans are having, remember, the reactions they are having right now and people are having right now is because of the anger they have for Nigeria, not because they are strategic. Because of the anger they have, but they have forgotten that the anger can lead you into committing a murder and you go to prison. Then you lose the opportunity of fulfilling your dream. That you are angry, that you wanted to do something significantly to Nigeria that has hurt you badly, does not make your action strategic. You must know that. So we don't base on things that are born out of motion, out of emotion, or things we just wanted to do just because we want to punish this Nigeria that has been punishing us, and it doesn't meet up with any target. Then it will become a useless exercise. And there is a lot of intelligence information that are available to DOS that is not available to you. You must allow and support them to act in that position of leadership. It's for the interest of the people. All you need is to support them. They come up with decision, sit at home in solidarity to our leader that are being held. You did it, and everybody saw it, that you did it. But they put a clause with that decision that this decision can go under review at any time. And before the second time, it went under review, and they come up and say it has been suspended. They changed the strategy. They changed the strategy that is going to be on the day they decide to bring they will decide to bring our leader to the court. That is just the fact. They changed the strategy, and it is for the best interest of Biafran, the best interest of the Biafran, because we are engaging in so many fronts. We are engaging in economic fronts. We are engaging in a social front. We are engaging in traditional fronts. We are engaging even on a media war front. And we cannot afford to lose battle in any of this. Any of these fronts which we are engaged on in this very struggle for Biafra, anywhere we lose, anywhere we lost, we pay for, we are going to pay price. We are going to pay price for damages. So it's very, very important that we know that before the DOS make a decision, so many things are put under consideration. So many things. There is so many intelligent gathering.
Mazi, like I said, I'm here to tell you that I am with the Biafrans who really want to sit at home. And we are boiling, we are angry, we want to sit at home. We are very, very, in fact, devastated that the sit at home order. In fact, I will say I'm the leader of those who want to sit at home. But Mazi,
okay,
let me ask you a question. Despite all this zeal, despite all these emotions of wanting to sit at home, wanting to do, what you feel is right for you, to help the freeing of our leader, obeying this order, doing everything possible, and suddenly the DOS say, no, the strategy have changed. Is it right as a good follower to obey this order?
Yes.
Yes.
Number one, if you are the lover of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is a time Jesus Christ said to the people, if you love me, keep my command. If you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you must keep his word. You must follow his strategy. That is very, very important. And let me address something very important. Mazi Pat, most of these people that are coming to agitate online, why did DOS stop sitting at home? So many of them did not sit at home. Mazi Pat, you today, you said you are angry. Did you sit at home last Monday? Did you?
Of course I did, Mazi.
Most people who are in abroad, who are busy, saying, hey, we want to continue. So many of them, they are busy doing their job. They didn't sit at home. Even though I did a program here and I tell people, if you are in Lagos, if you're anywhere, show solidarity. Lock up your shop. You don't need to lock the market if you are not the only one controlling the market. But how many of them lock their shop? How many of them? How many of them lock their business premises outside the Biafran land? Those that are abroad, how many of them did not go to work that day? So not that they are not making sacrifice in a different way, but we cannot at this very point in time look at the people who are looking at every way possible to destabilize this noble family of IPOP at every cost. Now it becomes an opportunity for them because so many of our people has fallen to their cheap propaganda that the YDOS stop the sit at home, they can't sustain it. And the people who are engineering this thing, they are the even people who even find their way in IPOP, planted by DSS and by Nigerian government. And their duty is to make sure that this noble family, this structure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took years and the high sacrifice to build, their duty is to make sure that this house collapses. But we might not be coming here to talk every day, but they cannot achieve it. They cannot achieve it because this very family was raised on a very strong altar, which is a stone that when you fall upon it, you shall be break. And when it fall upon you, it shall crush you.
So Mazi, what you are trying to tell us is that anytime the leadership of IPOB gives an order or command, and you see people trying to violate it or trying to object it or trying to use it as instrument of, that we should look at them very well critically. Is that what you are saying?
That is just the truth. That is just the pure truth. When we must allow leadership in this very movement at this very time that our leader is not physical, that is restricted with DSS, we must allow leadership. People who can be physical, who can go to places, who can get information. DOS is not one-man business. It's not one-man business. You can become the member of DOS tomorrow. And until you get there, then you will understand what these people are doing. So it's very, very important that before you come online to begin to say things, please take your time. Take your time to go through information that is available. DOS is not one-man business. It's not one-man decision. It's a leadership structure that we all must support in order to have collective goal, in order to work towards our collective goal. So our struggle is not individual based. I'm angry. I want to do this now. I want to kill people now. I want to carry gun and face Nigeria. No, you can do that on your individual intellectuality. You know, go and do what you want to do. But when you want to include everybody, we must abide to leadership. When before you go there, you kill the senator, you kill the people in your constituency, and you begin to say that IPOP sent you, then you must wait for that order to come from the leadership of IPOP. But if you wish that you can destroy the governor, destroy the local government on your own, arm yourself, go and do that job. There is people that recently begin to call unknown gunmen when they take out the policies from the road. So many of us, including our leader, we are clapping for them. At least they took the stand by themselves. They will not tomorrow when you hear them, they will tell you that DOS sent them. If we are going to do it collectively, it must come from the leadership. That is what I am saying. But nothing.
Please, there is somebody here that keeps commented. Caroline Joy have been accusing DSS of selling our leader to Nigerian government. Caroline, please, if you don't come out to make accusations without fact, and these are the people we are looking at who pretend to love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but in fact, they are the enemies within or outside it, because you cannot be accusing DSS of selling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government without evidence, without proof. They come with most of them come with the sentiment as if they love our leader so much, but in reality they don't. Mazi, go ahead.
They always want to see that a kind of disagreement. That is what they are instigating. If anybody is coming here to accuse or insult DOS, just block the person. You don't need to give such people attention. They are the agents of darkness. They are the people that wanted us to scatter. You know that when Jesus come and they stand on the mountain and was looking at the children of Israel, do you know what makes him to weep? He wept and said, look at how the children of Israel scatter as a sheep without shepherd. Do you know what it means to go into a struggle without a leadership? Do you know what it means? Block that person. If he's insulting, to insult DOS is to insult Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is what the Bible said, a person who can rise and say to his father, what have you begotten? So insulting DOS is insulting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You don't love him because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put the structure of DOS. That simply you are calling him a failure. That all these years that he has sacrificed and worked, he has not put anything in place. How dare you? When you insult DOS, you insult all of us, because we are under the shame of that command. You must be an agent of darkness for you to come in a program like this and insulting DOS, insulting men who has been sacrificing to make sure we are coordinated, to make sure we are consistent, and you are coming here to talk ill of them. You are being sent. You are being sent. They gave us order. We are under the chain of command. When they say move, we move. When they say we stop, we stop. And in all these things, in any order or command they are giving to us, there must be a evaluation. We are not zombies. So if they said, do this night, that is what our leader tell us. Obey before complain. And we have been, if you have been following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under the chain of command, and now he left DOS on that very position, and you are coming, that means you are the enemy in the house. You are the enemy of Biafra. You are the enemy of the people. Because you are a hypocrite. You have been under the chain of command, and now you are speaking evil of the chains of command. What wrong have DOS done? What wrong decisions have they made against you as a person? They asked you to sit at home. You sit at home. They evaluated it and said, okay, let's re-strategize. Then you are calling them stupid. Is it stupid for anybody to evaluate things? Which nation, which country don't evaluate their decisions? Which nation, which organization that does not evaluate their decisions? Are you telling me when you are affected and the evaluations happen and you are the most victim in the decision that was made, then DOS should continue? You must be senseless. And that is why some of you have not been under a family, have not been under tutor. So many of you have no tutor, nobody that you respect. You are not under submission to any authority. You are a wanderer. Authority is authority. And we have one in the position of DOS, which Mazi Chikedozian is the head. We must know that decision is not coming from Mazi Chikedozian. It's coming from the panel. It's coming from the organ, which was properly
and Mazi, one thing our people seem not to understand is that the decision of DOLs also come from the aspirations, feelings, and opinion of Biafrans as well. Because as much as people say they want to stay at home, there are still people who say, why not allow us to do our businesses and let us, any day Mazi is coming to court, all of us will move to Abuja to go and show solidarity. Don't you think the DOS must have also collected some of these evidences before coming out with that resolution?
Okay, let me tell you now, some of them who are here ranting. And I believe that this kind of individual, even there is some individual that I used to see online that somebody called Simon Epa and said that he is a hardcore. Somebody said he is a hardcore, and at the same time speaking against DOS. What makes you a hardcore? You a hardcore fool to have said you a hardcore and you are speaking against DOS. What makes you a hardcore? The things that people must understand is that decision from DOS, if you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you must respect the decision of DOS. You must. And that is very, very important. You must. And there is something I want to address that is going on here. That is going on here, even while we are talking right now. DOS, we must make it very clear. I stand by DOS. They are our leader right now. and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remained our overall leader wherever he is. And in regard to his position as being detained illegally right now, anything that it is his wish about him that he wants us to do for him regarding his detention, we must honor it because he's our leader. By the way, whatever action we decide to take by ourselves, we are taking it because of the love we have for him. So it will be also more beautiful exercise of love that we as a people also respect his wish about himself, about his position. Very, very important. Now, regarding about people who want to continue sitting at home, nobody is restricting you. Somebody said that it is achieving the aim of our enemy, because when DOS announced sit at home, so many people criticized it, and we saw people in Imo State and some other places. The truth is this. Mazi Pat also has mentioned that there is people who wanted to go about their business, who have made complaint. That might be part of it, but that is not all. I want to shock you right now and go and verify. Do you know also that the government of the day has armed a lot of people who are going to kill Biafrans on Monday? Are you aware? Are you aware of some wicked strategies that they have already put in place to attack our people while they are sitting at home? Are you aware? There is so many things that can lead to the decision of the DOS for this coming Monday. But that does not mean that the issue of sit at home has been totally taken out of the way. They only re-strategize it. That you are not sitting on this very Monday, sitting at home on this Monday. But on the date they put that our leader should be brought to the court, we will sit at home. Now, one of the beautiful things I want to present you for making such a strategy is this. We know that we are in the media war as to regard to the legal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are on a media war, if some of you don't understand. There is people who are in the media that are already judging, putting judgment on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the media, and they are selling it. And both local and international media, they are using as much as they can buy. Now, our sit at home will boost the media outfit, or boost the media strategy of winning this very war if we sit at home the day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to court. That is more better strategy. On my own, I'm explaining on my own. I'm not a member of DOS, but I follow trends. I follow the platform of DOS. I listen to everything they have to say. I am not surprised of anything when it happens. When they say sit at home, they put a clause. And I'm watching what could be the outcome of that clause. And that is what I had yesterday, that they suspend the Monday. Sit at home. And at the same time, they announced they suspended. I follow them. They said they are restrategizing the sit at home to be the day that Mazi have to go to court. So what is your problem? You want to sit at home, then wait for that day when Mazi has to go to court. And I had somebody who said you have to put pressure before that day. Nigerians are already having pressure because they know in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that we Biafran has leadership. That is their threat. Because what they thought is that once they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, nobody will be speaking, nobody will be giving order. But they are now facing a bigger threat. That we are not even talking of one man giving order or two men, but now there is a full organ.
Yes. Now, Mazi, there is a question. Mazi, there is a question I want to ask you. This one now goes to the Nigerian government and the zoo in general. Don't you think that the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS might escalate the issue? Because over time we have seen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu try to coordinate people, calm them down, try to calm nerves. Don't you think that the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu might spiral a situation where there will no longer be control of the people?
Okay. Now, that is the situation in where things can happen in future like that. Okay. Things can happen in future. And when things happen to that extent, that is the revolution that we are expecting that will take place. A revolution that we are expecting that will take place. It can come to a time where maybe people cannot be listening to anybody. They will want to do whatever things that comes out of their mind. And that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has tried to prevent, coming to a time when there will be anarchy. And that is what so many people who are sensible in this leadership are also trying to prevent. We don't want a stage of anarchy where things cannot be under control. And at that point, we might equally lose our target. So that is why we need to honor and respect leadership at this moment. So we don't come to that very point where you will see everybody will be running on his own path. That will not be good for you who even are accusing and insulting DOS. It won't be a good condition for you. And it won't be a good condition to everyone. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu insists in making the sacrifice that he is making today. And the member of DOS also are making sacrifice because you might be there in your comfort zone, in your reason, in your room, accusing DOS. But when you come close to DOS, you will know the level of the sacrifice that these men are making. No, none of them, you don't pay them for the job they are doing. They are doing it voluntarily. And to some of our people who are defending Biafran land, the member of ESN, nobody pay for the service they are doing, but they are laying down their life, making sacrifice to defend the land. So we must appreciate people who are making sacrifice for us, even as the way we appreciate our leader on the sacrifice that he's making. You must wait until you see an obvious mistake. For now, there is no mistake that DOS are making. They are not making any mistake. You don't expect them to make decisions like fools, or you don't expect them not to review their decisions. All these things are in place. There is no organization. I don't know why, if people have never worked in an organization or have never been under leadership, why is leadership too difficult for people to understand? Why? Is it because after the war, we miss Ojukwu who run away for his life, and we are being a shepherd, like a shepherd without sheep, and we don't know the meaning of leadership even at this very point? We must understand. The leadership has its own way of acting. You don't expect a leadership to act like an individual. Me as an individual, I can decide this night, no, that I will cut somebody's head. Then I can decide and go. But for leadership, there will be deliberation before such decisions can be made. And we need it more. If there is anything we need, is leadership. Our people, don't go out of the leadership. That is the worst that will happen to you. Once they get you divided, get you loose, get you in pieces, then they will just pick everybody one after the other. They will collapse you. You can't even do this. Your leader, your leader you want to bring up, you cannot even make an attempt before they finish you. We must remain under leadership. That is their fear today, is the leadership they saw last Monday by DOS. That is their fear. Everywhere is in trouble. You don't know, but they are in trouble because they never expect. They thought,
Mazi, they are not even sure if the people will even listen to DOS and even go out in their normal duties. They are even praying that people listen to the DOS and go about their normal duties, because there are still chances that people will still sit at home on Monday.
Mazi, anybody who is prepared to sit at home on Monday, he will still sit at home on Monday on individual basis. That is just the truth, but not on a collective base. If it's in a collective base, there will be a leadership. We follow leadership. But if an individual, you want to lock up your shop, you felt like it will hurt the government that day, or you felt like it will hurt the people that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you can do it on individual base. But for now, we are following the leadership. They say do, we do. They say stop, we stop. That is the fear of the present government. That is the fear of the present government. That is the fear of Joe Igbokwe. Joe Igbokwe said, hold the leader and the sheep will scatter. Now, after sit at home on Monday, Joe Igbokwe knows that even as him and his collaborator is holding our leader in DSS dungeon,
the sheep are even stronger.
The sheep are even stronger. They are still following leadership. They are still following leadership because you know what they are thinking before. They think because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when decision have been deliberated, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be the one to come and announce it. They think that he is the one saying everything. That you hear what he said before every decision that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come to announce in Radio Biafra is in collaboration with DOS. They deliberated it. He is the one in charge. He is the one in position to come just to announce what has been deliberated. And these people that you are seeing today, they have been under working serious job that is not just being physical. The only thing that happened at this very time, that is looking like you are looking at, you want to look at DOS like they are small boys. The only thing that happened is this. DOS was not in charge at the moment when Mazi was in Kenya. They are not in charge of the information of the whereabouts our leader and what he's doing in Kenya. That is the only thing. Because Mazi has right to go about his business. Mazi has right to take his wife out. Mazi has right to sort for any solution on the matters that has to do with him personal. He doesn't need to involve Biafra. And there is no restriction that DOS has to hold Mazi. If you want to go out with his wife, they will hold him. Don't go out with your wife, or don't go out with your kids. There is no obligation of DOS as to regard to that. That Afon Alumazi, he wants to go to chemist to buy, he has to take order from DOS, or he has to inform DOS. There is nothing like that. The only thing is that the people, the family, and the family who knows the movement of the, did not communicate. Did not communicate. If they have communicated, who bought Nigeria to lift Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya? Or do you think that if DOS is aware of Mazi's movement to Kenya, who bought Nigeria, who bought Kenya to beat our leader? We will all die. You will see people, they will fly from everywhere to Kenya. They will turn Kenya into a graveyard. You don't know Biafrans. Biafrans, if you don't know, go to the video of when they are looking for Buhari in Japan. They actually want Piamando. You don't know these people. You don't know Biafrans. That's why you are playing with them. And we are still protesting at this very stage. They might be laughing, but they will see the backside of us very soon. They will see the stuff we are making up.
Mazi, thank you. Mazi, thank you very much.
I want to give Biafrans an advice.
Yes.
I want to give Biafran an advice. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so much. I love Mazi Pat. I love Simon Eber. There was never a day I don't listen to Simon Eber breakfast. He is a great man. I loved him. He knows his job and he is doing it. Despite all these small demons that used to come to his platform to make one thing, he's still strong and he's doing his job and nothing is moving him out of the way. I loved him and I love Biafrans. The fact is that when the kind of joy I feel when you tell me or when I see anybody that say I'm a Biafran, the joy is too much. It's the kind of joy that Elizabeth felt when her cousin Mary visited her. Anytime I see anybody that say Biafra, I love them. I love every one of us. I love our zeal that we want to do more. That is a right zeal. But let us not use it to give an opportunity to people who doesn't want us to succeed. Those people who will turn their zeal into what to do because of the way that Nigeria has peppered them. Please don't change that.
Mazi, somebody is even accusing you. They say Nigeria don't give you money because they say you have collected bribe from Nigeria because you are preaching discipline. Honest Abog said this Peter Solomon have collected bribe from Nigerian government. Look at how he speak. Why your leader is in DSS case study, he is saying nonsense. Mazi Solomon.
Okay, Mazi, hold on.
I'm not. I just want us to make joke out of it because.
But there is something I need to comment to him.
Yes.
Also in part of joke. Do you understand? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS. It could be me. It could be you. There is thousands, hundreds of Biafrans who have been under the
and are still in even still in DSS now.
Still there a longer time.
Thousands of Biafrans.
And the Mazi has already been there. And the one thing people don't understand about Mazi detention, Mazi is fully aware that once you stand up to demand for the freedom of your people, there is 3 places where you can be. 1, in the prison. 2, in the graveyard. 3, in exile. Mazi is aware that these are the 3 things that are waiting for him. Either in exile, if he succeeds in being in exile, or in the grave. Because the people that he wants to free his people from, they want him dead today and tomorrow. The 3rd place is the cells. He's aware that he can be arrested. Even there was a time Mazi is in program saying he's ready to hand himself over. To face trial anywhere. So prison is part of this. Cell is part of this. But what we are agitating at this moment is the illegal detention. Mazi was adopted, beaten, and that is abuse of human rights. And that is what we said no to extraordinary retention. It's not allowed. If you arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for Biafra, Mandela stays in the prison for 27 years for the freedom of his people. Who asks for freedom that have never been in prison, have never been detained? Everybody who has asked for the freedom of their people has always faced the same circumstances.
So you don't need to collect bribe to sell Mazi. Because Mazi knows he will be there, by the way. Which some of us might even end up there in the future. Who knows? Nobody knows who is coming to.
That I'm here talking today does not mean that prison is not waiting for me. If I'm real, everybody that is real, even Simon Eber you are looking at today, that he's out talking today, does not mean that prison is not waiting for him. And does not mean that he cannot be held, or everybody, every one of us. But even at this time, when our leader is being held there, that is not the final. That is not the final journey. That they hold our leader there does not mean that they have won the battle. That they have already succeeded in subduing us. No. That could also be the end of that Nigeria that we are seeking for. Holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at that very place. So we must,
yeah, because
in a way,
Mazi Solomon,
remain positive.
yeah, because Mazi
Yes.
Solomon, also what is happening also have also been able to play leadership on the shoulder of every Biafran. Because before now, all of us have always depended on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, motivating us, telling us things to do. Now, the leadership are falling on us that we have to encourage ourselves in the absence of our leader. Mazi, we have to start rounding it up.
Yes, somebody is making me laugh here. Uh, Mazi, we must relax at this moment. Yeah, and make Biafran to understand that it takes only one muzzle to smile, but it takes 99 muzzle to frown. So there is no need for us to waste a lot of resources on the thing that does not worth it. Our leader is in DSS, and we are doing everything to make sure that his health and his life is being safeguarded. And we are expecting him to be released very soon. So many of us are doing things that are not being shown in the media, and we have the lead councils who are making every effort and briefing Biafrans. So, and we must know at this very point in time that Nigeria, they came up illegally to prescribe IPOP. Now, if they are not been able to convince our leader, that simply means that that prescription cannot stand against IPOP. So we must know that at the end of the journey, those that love God, the Bible says that everything will turn out good. We IPOP, all the journey we have been embarked on, at the end we will win. Our leader being the 10, at the end we will win. Whatever that is happening now, at the end we will win. Children of Israel have the shorter way to go to the promised land, but God took them through the longer way. And the reason he took them through the longer way is for them to learn battle, because he doesn't want them to go to the promised land without knowing battle. And when they see battle, they will run away. They will abandon, the land and run away. So he took them through the longer way to learn. So now that we are going through the legal processes, learn something. Hear from people who are coordinating, who are in a coordinating position at this very moment. Learn a new things. It could also help you in your individual battle, in your individual life. So learn a new things, hear new things, ask questions where is necessary, and they stop accusing, blaming, at the same time pointing finger unnecessarily. That is very, very important. Thank you so much, Biafran. Someone say here that they have make us not to buy gun and face Biafra. You must be strategic, my brother. You must be very, very strategic. If you buy gun and do things funny, you might go down without achieving your goal.
You're right, Mazi.
Well.
That brings me to my own comment. When you talk about Eze ndị iwe na-ewe for the suspension of the sitter, Eze ndị iwe na-ewe. You understand? I'm very, very angry for that sit at home. But even in that anger, even in that emotion, we must obey the leadership of IPOB. We must see reason with them, because what they've given us is commitment. Now let us put that energy of sitting at home together, because we are going to need it for other better things that might also help the struggle. Mazi, I think we have to start rounding it up.
Thank you so much. Are you expecting the last word from me?
Yeah, go ahead and give us your last word for today. I thought you've done that. But what I want our people to do is to this energy that you have, that you would have used every Monday, let us accumulate it, because we are going to use it for other strategies that will come in the future. Mazi Solomon.
Thank you so much. Ebuninazu Obiogu. You know, Ebuninazu Obiogu. Anonata Eshibunta. We must always know that consistency and also at the same time discipline. That is the message of our leader, which I preach in this very platform. We must remain consistent and we must be disciplined. Very, very important. Watch every nation that is prospering. Discipline is one of their lifestyle. They know how to discipline themselves and don't
obey the law. Obey the law.
Yeah, don't try to make yourself to be above others. In any position that you are called to act or work, be diligent in that very position. Don't abandon your position, your washing post, and jumping into other people's business, causing confusion. Be very focused. If they give you money to keep, be very focused. Make sure that anytime you are called for money, you can be able to give a reason, you can be able to make your account straight. If they give you a coordinating position, coordinate within that. Don't jump from coordinating a local house. You jump to the zonal. You begin to give command or order, or begin to counter the zone. You are meant to work diligent. You are meant to be disciplined. You are meant to remain consistent. So please don't lose focus on this. You see this
Thank
Biafra
you,
we are
Mazi.
pursuing. You see this Biafra we are pursuing, and the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that we should get. Nothing should stop it. Nothing will block it. Because so many of us are doing more dangerous things than sitting at home. And as I'm telling you about raising of altar, continue to raise altar at your own end. Speaking word in that very altar. Cursing all your enemies in that very altar. You might not know the damage you are doing, but one day, okay, may have nanya. Thank you. Until I come your way again, my name remains Solomon Peter. Bye.
Thank you very much, Mazi Solomon. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Brother France, I want to say thank you very much. Just like you are angry, I'm also very, very angry that the seat at home was shifted. But we don't have option. We have to obey the leadership. We have to follow the leadership, because that is the only way we can get to the destination. If we use our anger unwisely and say, oh, because DOS changed the seat at home, they suspended it for that, we must fight. You don't have to. At the end of the day, we wouldn't get to our destination. But the only way for us to get to our destination is to follow the leadership of the Directorate of State, so that we would be under one command, like the vision of our leader. Because you that is saying that you love our leader, if you disobey the Directorate of State, our leader will not be happy, because you are trying to pull down what he has built over time. So I want to say thank you very much for being part of this program. Until we see again, my name remains DK Patrick DK, and have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you all.
Children of the rising sun, fighting for survival in the land of our ancestors. Africa must be free from the hands of our oppressors. The struggle is a glory, we are telling our story. Getting shot by the police or Alufani hegemony. The Afra is a spirit, she has put the world on notice. The United Nature mostly, and this we never notice. We must fight to the finish till our enemies diminish. Go back to your roots as it was in the beginning, and we stand by the truth and life is shut from the beginning.
We are the children of the Most High. We surely overcome. Freedom is all we asking for. We are more than conquerors. God is watching over